Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today I'm going to tell you why you need to buy an F90 M5 right now. Remember, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. I post 3 videos every week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern. Like and share these videos so our channel can grow, and as always, leave a positive comment below. Your comments help me grow in the YouTube algorithm, so please comment on every single video. Also, check out our merchandise store. Any t-shirt or sweatshirt you buy goes directly into the channel for editing and camera equipment. All right. So the F90 M5. So let me tell you my M5 story, and then I'll tell you why you need to buy an M5 right now. So as a kid, I grew up on American cars. My father only drove American cars. My grandfather only drove American cars. So I've been a car nut since I was born, literally. And they're not car people. My dad had 3 Chevy Celebrities. I always dreamed about Mustangs, Camaros, and Corvettes. So as a kid, when I started driving or in college, I would buy $4,000 Camaros, $5,000 Mustangs, $10,000 Corvettes, and they had anywhere from 220 horsepower to 300 horsepower, and I thought I was all that with a 300 horsepower Corvette. And you know, those cars, you had to shift at like 4,800 RPM. They were very torquey motors. The power was down low. You never had to rev them out. You never could rev them out. And then in the year 2000, when I was starting in real estate, you don't make any money in real estate. Literally, you got to actually have jobs so you can afford to stay in real estate. So you can do your canvassing and cold calls and knocking on doors till you can make enough money to make a living. So I got up at 4 a.m. to do a paper route so I could stay in the real estate business. And then I also worked for a press car delivery service. So I actually delivered the brand new press cars to the Car and Drivers of the world and the New York Times, that kind of stuff. And one time, picking up in BMW headquarters, there were 3 Z3 convertibles there, which were the hot car at that time, and 1 E39 M5. And I ran everybody over and ran to the E39 M5. The guy at BMW Tech Center was like, who's this young kid running for the M5? You know, everybody wants the Z3 convertibles. And driving that car changed my life. And I drove it on the same roads here where I film all the Glenn's Car Collection videos. And I couldn't believe that a V8 went to 7,000 RPM or whatever it went to. And it was such a good handling, so stable at speed, you know, where my Camaros, Mustangs, and Corvettes, you take it on a fast back road, and the car's all over the place suspension-wise. And this car, you know, was an Autobahn car where it could handle the turns, it can handle the highway, it can handle high speeds. And I probably drove that car everywhere before I actually delivered to where it had to go. That's how much fun I had with that car, and changed my life. And it's been all German cars ever since. So I've always had, a love of the M5, even though I never actually owned one. I'd love to own an E39 M5. We have a review of a supercharged one back in 2017 on this channel when the channel started. So the quality's not good, but the car was fantastic. And also the V10 M5, the E60 in an SMG, but that's also available on manual. We have a review. It was the same owner on both cars, and we did some back-to-back videos there. So I've always loved the M5, always wanted one. Now the new, a couple years ago, I guess when I bought the Audi S8, I actually thought about an F10 M5 as a daily driver, because you could still get it in a manual transmission. It was, a roomy car. It would be great for my commercial real estate business, and it also had a ton of performance. That car, though, was probably the low point of M5s. It didn't drive as well as the E60, or of course not the E39 M5. It wasn't as visceral car. It was more a faster and electronic car. It wasn't as reliable. Not that the V10 is reliable. And back in 2018, I got to drive one of the first F90 M5s, drove it on the back roads, also drove it on the racetrack, and I'm going to tell you why this car is so phenomenal. Now, it's an expensive car, brand new with options. They're pushing about $120,000. Standard horsepower is 600 from the twin turbocharged V8. Competition could be 617 horsepower and get a little bit more horsepower. Torque is the same at 553 foot-pounds. There's some, we'll go over later in this video, there's some downside to it too. And so let's do the upside first. Well, the upside is it actually handles great. For a 4-door car that you can take your family or be your everyday car, the handling is phenomenal. And what is great about the car, BMW does great suspension dampening, where you can have a car with almost no body roll, handle great, and not pay the price with a stiff suspension. Also, it's all-wheel drive. Now, typically I don't want all-wheel drive in sports cars. My 911 is rear drive. But this actually helps get the power to the ground. The biggest gripe I had with the F10 M5 is that so much power the rear wheels would just go sideways. It couldn't put that power to the ground. Now it can, and that's why they went to all-wheel drive. But now, living here in the Northeast in northern New Jersey, it makes a great all-season daily driver. If you want to have one car that done it all, and I've even tracked the F90 M5, I don't know that you'd want to track it due to the weight, but you could have one car that does everything. It's definitely the F90 M5. So can you take it to the track? You can. Ceramic brakes are available. They squeak like crazy. One of my friends just bought an M5 competition with ceramics, and the brake squeal on that was so unbelievably loud. And, yeah, it's a heavy car, weighs about 4,300 pounds, depending on options, could be 42, 44. And you don't want, whoa, a bird shit just flew in my car here. You don't want it to,
could be 42, 44. And bird shit.
You don't want it to, too heavy of a car for the track. And it's definitely not a track car. Get an F80 M3 or the new M3 next year whenever it comes out if you want to track the car. But this could be your family car. You can take, you know, four of your buddies with you. It's a 5-seater, no problem. And it's a phenomenal car to drive. Now let's talk about well, first of all, dynoing this car. So whether you get the base car 600 or the 617 horsepower of the competition, those cars have been dynoed by the car magazines. They make almost that to the wheels. So BMW once again is underrating the horsepower. And the best thing about the car is 0 to 60 time. Car and driver got 2.8 seconds, and that wasn't even from a competition. So you probably save another tenth with the competition. 600 horsepower, 2.8 seconds. My McLaren 570S is 3.1 seconds to 60. So here you have a car you could drive all the time, take all your friends. I mean, obviously it's more of a sleeper, unless you get it in some of the bright blue colors. But that has McLaren beating performance, at least in a straight line. And the best thing about it, and why you should buy the car right now, is the price. So these cars were about $120,000 right brand new. You could get certified pre-owned 2018s for under 80 grand, for about 78 to 79 grand. Now I've seen some cars wholesale about $72,000. Most of those cars had paint work or accidents, so I would stay away from those. But I'd get a certified car, 2018, which will still have low miles, for like 79,000. You got McLaren performance in a car. You're still under the BMW original warranty, 40 or 50,000 miles. You get another year for certified, so you have at least a 2-year warranty when you buy this car. And nothing beats it. If I can have one car, this car that we're sitting in, my new daily driver, the M340i xDrive, was $68,000. And so for $10,000 more, you can get an M5. And could I swung it? I would have done it. A lot of you guessed the new daily driver would be the M5, and that would be my ultimate daily driver. So check out my review. We go through all the technical stuff. You won't believe how much that car impressed me. But you should buy, if you can afford it, an F90 2018 base model right now. And then if you could get newer ones or competition or lease a new one, even better. But I think a big part of the depreciation gone. It's still going to depreciate more. You're going to have running expenses because the free service will be up after 3 years and 50,000 miles. You'll have to, you know, replace tires and brakes will be expensive. I wouldn't get the ceramic brakes. I think they're just too noisy for the street unless you're going to track the car, and it's too heavy to track. If you can afford an M5, get a cheap car for the track like a Miata or something like that. But if I could have one, if I close a big real estate deal, that's the first thing I'm doing. Or if I won Powerball, that's the first thing I do is get the F90 M5. It is that good. All right, guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below. Your thoughts on the F90. Would you buy one now? Would you wait for a little more depreciation? Would you lease a new one so you have a longer warranty? Would you buy something else? Is there a better car for that 78, 79,000 price point that's 4 doors, all-wheel drive that can be a great daily driver? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.